Welcome back, everyone. In my series of my first job, second job, third job, fourth job, fifth job, sixth job, and so on, everybody's had lots and lots of part-time jobs. Before a career was established in my mind or through school education, what are you going to do with your life? I started off at 9 years old, yes, 9, as a busboy. What is a busboy? A busboy or girl is a person working in a restaurant, cleaning tables of the restaurant, setting up tables for the restaurant, helping the chef, helping the waitresses, and so on. That's what a busboy does. Now, in my case, my father worked in a hotel called Beverly Hills Motor Hotel on Wilson Avenue near Jane Street here in Toronto. Now, he was an accountant there, and he noticed for a while, I guess, that his son Brian was doing nothing on weekends when it comes to earning money. I never got an allowance from my parents because there was no money to get an allowance. So instead of begging, like a lot of people do, my father decided, well, let's have Brian work in a restaurant as a busboy, cleaning tables. Now, of course, at this age, I had no idea what does that mean. So basically what happened is before 5 a.m., yes, before 5 a.m., I got up every day when it comes to day, meaning Saturday and Sunday and all summer long. Yeah, so Saturday and Sunday during the year, and summer is almost 5 days a week. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, and most of the week, 3 days a week. So like 5 days a week, I was going to the hotel as a busboy. Yeah, so my job when I got there, two strokes. In other words, I had to do two different things. They had a huge nightclub which had 500 seats. Yeah, the coffee shop I was assigned to afterwards had, let's say, 40 seats. So in each case, in other words, take the chairs down, all right? Every single chair represented one seating, which means one had a fork, a knife, a spoon, a napkin, a glass for water, etc. Also, you had condiments, ketchup, mustard, and so on every table. So you can imagine, I did the nightclub first. That took like 2 hours of doing that, almost 3 hours to do that. The nightclub was nice in the sense that it was dark and it had carpeting floors and very soft when I put things down. So I took my time. I was all organized, my goblets were ready, my forks were ready, my knives were ready, and so on and so on. I was very organized. So roughly 2 hours later, from almost 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, I was asked to go across the hallway of the hotel into the Pagoda House, which was a coffee shop. That was the name, Pagoda House. There they had 12 tables, each table had 6. So 72 people, whatever. So my job again was set up the tables. Put the placemat down, the glass down, the forks, the knives, the spoons, and so on. Plus I had to help the chef named Jerry take food from the main kitchen across the hall into the Pagoda House kitchen as well. It was a small coffee shop, and it was a very busy place because every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, all kinds of tour buses came. Tour bus, tour bus, tour bus. Each bus had maybe 40, 50 people in it. Now, one huge advantage I had over most people in my age, I realized you might say to yourself, 9 years old, this is crazy. Well, you might say to yourself, I'm cooking, kicking, and screaming. I don't want to go to work at 9 years old. I want to play with my friends. My father basically said, you'll learn responsibility. I'm 9 years old. What do I know about responsibility? So a lot of my friends got money in terms of an allowance from their parents. I didn't. So I understood fast about responsibility, the value of a dollar. I understood very, very early. All right. So I got my regular wage per hour, and I used to get tips. Waitresses gave me tips for helping out. When I worked also doing room service in a hotel of coffee, room service of food, I got tips as well, going to different rooms. So it was a double win-win for me. And you might say to yourself, wasn't this boring? Wasn't this boring? I always say, in any job, if it's busy, you're busy. You have no time to sit around like this and look at the clock. You don't. You're constantly busy. So I worked with 2 other busboys because we were so busy. 3 busboys for 1 coffee shop. It was that busy. It's a combination of setting up a table, cleaning the mess that goes on the floor if they drop stuff on the floor, adding extra food for this person or that person. The waitress say, Brian, make me some toast, get me a lemonade, get me an orange juice for table number so-and-so. So, as you can see, it was a lot busier than you think. It really, really was. And also, because it was so busy, I met so many people from so many parts of this world. People from every country you can think of in the world, all right? They were dressed sometimes in their culture. Like for example, you're from East India, let's say, they had saris on, beautiful colors of red and blue and green and so on, and other colors of this and this. We had people of North America, of course, people also, again, all different countries. Also, I represented myself here in Toronto as a North American, but I met people from different cultures and their language skills. I picked up their type of English language skills. When I say picked it up, your brain acts like a sponge, and you'll learn different accents from people from different countries. Yeah, so when they speak English from their country, they have a certain accent. So at first, being a very young person at that time, I asked them, twice or three times, excuse me, I don't understand what you're saying. So they slowed down, and eventually I picked up on their accent. It helped me understand people from around the world. Number two is, a lot of these people came in our doors in the coffee shop who had physical disabilities. We had service dogs, people who were totally blind, people who had oxygen mask on, with an oxygen tank behind. I met people of all different ages, all different backgrounds, like I said, all different cultures. And to me, I think that was the best thing that ever happened. Yeah, of course, I was kicking and screaming with my father and crying, getting on a bus at before 5 a.m. Where am I going at this time? I should be sleeping and playing with my friends. But eventually, after about 1.5 years of doing this part-time, I understood my father's reasoning for this. I really, really did. Why am I learning more? Why am I learning about culture? Why? It sets a huge base of understanding and knowledge I could use forever. Yeah, meeting people from all over the world. That's why this particular job was unbelievably fabulous. Also, sometimes it's so busy I had no time to breathe, in a sense, no time to have food, no time for lunch. And of course, I became very, very valuable to the chef as well as the waitresses and so on, because I extended my services, not just cleaning tables. I did extra. I also acted sometimes as a waiter or waitress sometimes as well, helping the chef sometimes cook. And if you help the chef more, he'll feed you anything you want. Now, of course, you're only allowed so much working in a restaurant, like $5 a meal, whatever it is. But many times I got extra. You want steak, you want lasagna, you want this, Brian, whatever you want. Extra bacon, extra sausage, whatever you want, Brian, you can have. So, plus the major benefit was this was in a hotel. So sometimes at lunchtime, instead of sitting there eating for an hour or whatever, I would go swimming in the hotel pool. Yeah. I brought my bathing suit, put it in my locker, I changed, went swimming for 25 minutes, went back to my locker, changed, back to work. So this was my first job as a busboy. I did this almost 10 years on a part-time basis. All that extra money paid for my golf, my tennis, my fishing, and so on. Your first job could be your best, but it sets the stone, it sets the bridge work, it sets the baseline for a future career of many things. That's why I eternally love the fact that my father dragged me that day. I'll be forever grateful. Till next time, bye-bye.